All right. So, I was only kidding about comparing Laura Nyro to Taylor Swift. Hope nobody took that serious. But now it's time to do some more comparing. Evaluating. Reporting. Find Music, episode 303, Mr. Jim Babwe.
There we go. I might have mentioned this guy before, but today I want to talk about DJ Discocat. He's come out with some new releases. This is a DJ who takes existing recorded music and remixes them into extended versions. And his work is really, really good. It's seamless. He will take a song and extend it out so that it's kind of like what you might expect to see a band do when they perform a number in concert. Now, he does some Steely Dan stuff, okay? But I've seen Steely Dan in concert twice. And they're one of the bands that seems to do an exact version of the recorded version in concert. And in a sense, that's kind of disappointing because you'd like to see him stretch out a little bit. I would anyway. So he's available. You can dial him up. Just enter his DJ Discocat moniker into SoundCloud or YouTube, and he's got a really extensive catalog. Yeah. Yes.
K-A-T?
C-A-T. Good question. DJ Discocat.
2 words?
Actually, Discocat is 1 word, but it'll come up if you enter it as 2 words. Google is a better speller than I am.
This is not the guy who extended Kung Fu Fighting.
It is.
It is.
I think that's one of his extensions.
I've seen that one. Heard that one. It's amazing.
It's really amazing. And I'm going to read a little bit from his catalog. These are the kinds of things that you're going to find if you look him up. You'll find Sister Sledge, Donna Summer, Timmy Thomas, and the Timmy Thomas mix, Why Can't We Live Together, is awesome because he's got Martin Luther King Jr. speeches mixed in with it, along with Marvin Gaye. It's really creative. One of my favorites, the Watts 103rd Street Rhythm Band, Express Yourself. I don't know if you remember that song, but he extends that from a 3-minute and 50-second single into 8 minutes and 25 seconds. And it's really kind of fun.
Incredible. Wow.
John Stewart and Stevie Nicks doing Gold, where they're turning music into gold. You know that song?
Sure.
4 minutes and 21 seconds gets 6:14. Fleetwood Mac, Hypnotized, one of my very favorite Fleetwood Mac songs of all time, off of Mystery to Me, goes from 4:48 to 9:26.
Wow.
And speaking of the word disco, which is in his name, I think the older I get, the more I appreciate different types of music. I mean, there was a whole anti-disco way of thinking among rock and rollers, for example, back in the 70s. And even now, I don't have any records by the Carpenters, and I probably won't go out and buy one anytime soon. But, when you listen to the music, it is so precise and well structured. You got to admire that, especially when you think about how much practice it takes for a musician to become competent and excellent.
Have you ever heard Calling Occupants of Interplanetary Craft?
I have not. What's that?
That was by the Carpenters, 1977.
Oh, that's a great title. I'll have to check that out.
It's a remake, of course. Half of their songs were remakes, and this was originally done by Klaatu.
Oh, I know that band.
You might have heard of Klaatu.
Klaatu, right? Not only from The Day the Earth Stood Still, but the band Klaatu.
Yeah, the band, and
named after the robot.
It's a great remake.
Oh, I'm going to check that out.
Really,
definitely.
really. That's a good gateway drug for you.
Okay.
The Carpenters.
Perfect.
Then you can go into Reason to Believe. You know that song?
Yeah, of course. That's
They have the definitive version, as far as I'm concerned, even better than Rod Stewart's.
Rod Stewart's interesting. He's an interesting DJ Discocat has remixed some of his stuff too. And speaking of remixes, DJ Discocat does a much better job than George Martin's son on I Am the Walrus.
Giles, yeah, example. I'm sure.
To harken back to a previous episode here, I have listened to some of those Beatles remixes, and they're slick, but they just lack the soul that's included in the originals. There's a lack of fidelity. That's a better word, I think.
And he commits his most egregious crimes against John Lennon.
You get the feeling that he had something personal. you know, that he didn't like about
Hmm.
him. I mean, basically, I mean, I've had fun taking great works of art and like putting Mona Lisa next to Vincent van Gogh. It's kind of a
Yeah.
joke,
For laughs.
for laughs, just for fun, not malicious. But man, when you listen to some of the remixes on the Beatles Blue album, it's just there's something wrong, And I
Revolution
mean,
without the scream? You
the
got to be
thing
kidding
is,
me.
it seems to me like a blatant attempt to just appeal to collectors who are going to go out and pay for the new mix, just so that they can say that they have the whole catalog.
I've been tempted. I've come close to pressing the button many times, but I've held back.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let me finish up here
DJ
with
Cosmic.
DJ Discocat.
I mean,
One
Disco
of the most
Cat.
interesting cuts that he does is
Mhm.
a version of "Don't Fear the Reaper"
Oh,
by Blue
yeah.
Oyster Cult, and I know Murray really likes Blue Oyster Cult.
Mm.
And aside from the Will Ferrell cowbell incident, now
Yeah.
I can't listen. I can't listen to "Don't Fear the Reaper" without
Without
focusing
laughing.
on
Yeah.
that stupid cowbell.
Yeah. But there is
It's
no
kind of funny.
cowbell in the song.
What's that?
The original version has no cowbell.
It doesn't. Well, I know that the single is
Mhm.
3 minutes and 45 seconds long. The
Mhm.
album version is 5 minutes and 5 seconds long, and the DJ Disco Cat version gets up to 7 minutes and 45 seconds.
So my big
And
question
that's the
is, did
kind of
he
thing
add
that you'd hope to hear
cowbell?
them do in concert. What's that?
My big question is, did he add cowbell?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Although
okay.
sometimes if you listen closely to his remixes, you can tell that he has mixed in his own musical instruments.
Mhm.
It's really subtle,
Would you
but it's
say he's reverential?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. When you say imitation is the highest form of flattery,
Mhm.
that's a really good example of what he's doing, and I'm sure that's his intent. You can tell he loves music,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
will different types of music, all kinds of stuff. The Bangles, Stevie Wonder, the Spinners, the OJs, Rolling Stones, Steely Dan, ELO, Sly and the Family Stone, Joe Tex, Blondie. Those are just a
So he's
few.
the Steven Wilson of pop music.
If I knew who Steven Wilson was, I would agree with you.
Well, Steven Wilson is the great remixer of progressive rock.
Oh, okay.
He
Okay.
does he juices it up and it comes out real
Manipulates
good
the
with
sound.
faithfulness to the original. Yeah, not
And I
like
think that's the
Giles.
key. That's the key, faithfulness to the original. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's my deal for today. DJ
DJ
Disco Cat.
Disco Cat, DJ
Check him
Disco
out.
Cat, DJ Disco Cat.
Check him out.
Check him out. Fabulous, fabulous. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.